For you guys who have watched the channel before, you might look around and see, hey, it looks a little bit different than Florida. Indeed, I am in Northwest Alabama on a property behind my parents' house where they have a couple campsites set up. And the idea here is real simple. Me and my dad are just gonna camp out for the night. And what I'm focused on primarily is testing out this new sleep system. No sleeping bag, just a lot of layers and a proper bivvy sack. And the temps are gonna drop down the 20s. And for me, that's really cold because about as cold as it gets in Florida during the winter, it drops down to 40. So it's supposed to be like 21 degrees tonight. I'm either going to freeze and have an awful night, or I'm going to stay toasty warm. Oh yeah, the other thing we're going to do out here, guys, aside from testing out that sleep system, is a Siberian log fire. I do these usually anyways. I did that on my last trip, but we're going to have to up our game and get some more logs on there to keep that fire going all night long for that warmth. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this. We're going to have a lot of fun out here. I'm not going to really be doing any talking in this video. You're just going to enjoy the sounds of nature, the fire crackling, me splitting wood, and just all the things that go into spending a night out in the forest. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump into it.
Ooh. Okay.
That's a good grouping. Sweet.
All right. Good. Okay. That would hurt going in. Ooh.
Nice.
Sweet.
Right on target. I'll do one more.
Yeah. Ooh. Dang. Good job.
All right.
Well, that was pretty sweet.
The plan with the sleep system, or at least what I've come up with, we'll see how well it actually sleeps, is to just crash on the ground. No hammock, no nothing except for my sleeping pad, and that's it. And basically with the new shelter, I just climb in it like a bivvy sack. At least that's the way it's demonstrated on the website, and that's how they say it's done. We'll see how it works in real life. But basically, put this on top of the sleeping pad. I have my super awesome and badass multicam Tropic woobie, and that's about it. Plus lots of layers of thermals underneath here. So we'll see how it goes for the night. The idea with the fire here for warmth, guys, and you can see I'm already starting to set this up like a Siberian log fire. I'll have about 3 logs here, the fire going here, and this will just burn throughout the night. And I'm close enough to it that I can maintain it, but not, get, burnt up by it as well. So that's the general idea. I'm gonna get back to it, get the shelter set up, which is gonna be pretty quick. And the thing is, The reason why I'm just crashing on the ground may not be as comfortable as the hammock, but if you think along the lines of maybe escape and evasion, or hell, just not leaving any trace and being able to set up camp super fast and then break camp super fast, not using a tarp, not using a hammock, and just being on the ground with this awesome badass tarp poncho combo should work. Or will it? I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, you see, guys, it inflates really good, and this this Static V Recon sleeping mat from Climate is just amazing. I've used this. I guess I've had this out. Well, you can see it's pretty damn dirty. I've had this for a couple years. Not one rip, not one tear, and no need for repairs. Yeah, it is a little bit pricey, but you know, if you save up your money and you invest in good quality gear, you won't be disappointed. So I think, guys, this will be enough wood to at least get us started with the fire. And stack it all right here. Now, we just need a little tinder and we're good to go. And the sun is basically gone. So we probably got about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of daylight left. I think we're right on time. Now we find out how well this functions, because I've used it a little bit, but I haven't really gotten to heavy duty use. And we're going to use this bad boy to baton through some of these down cedars, get ourselves the wood that's actually going to be the fire. I also got to collect some tinder, and as you guys can see, the sun is about to set, so we got about 30 minutes of light to get this whole operation done, and then just kick back by the fire and chill. Look at that, guys. Beautiful red cedar. That's going to keep us nice and warm. Usually my go-to is the Swedish fire steel and my little match case, but my dad has this gigantic fire steel. I think this is from Uberleben, and it is, I don't know, what do you think that is? 6 inches, 8 inches? Something like that? I don't know. But it's huge. It's a monster. So we got that, and we also have some rolled up bark, plus every kind of type of tinder on planet Earth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just break off a little bit of this bark, and put some of the shavings in there and get this fire going. So unroll a little bit out that. A little more. It's nice to have this bark. I see a lot of guys on the European bushcraft channels, they got all the bark that they just peel off the trees, and we really don't have much of that, at least in Florida. So different environment, different tinder sources, but hey, anywhere I go, I always got Vaseline and cotton balls, and my dad has that same vibe going on because this is literally the best fire starter out there. So you don't need much of this stuff either, guys, and I do like to tear it up a little bit. It's probably a little bit more important to tear it up and fluff it if you don't have Vaseline on it, but it's just kind of a habit. I do it anyway. So just put a little bit inside the bark like you see there, put it over here on my fire, and let's see if we can get some sparks in there. And it's my first time working with bark like this, so I guess you got to kind of unfold it a little bit, because if I don't, the sparks are not gonna land. But I think that'll work. Let's get this thing warmed up. Okay, it's warmed up. Boom, look at that. No problemo. That looks good. And then we'll go ahead and get some of these little pieces of kindling on here. So, and get this guy going. So this wood here, this is where we're at. I had to cut down a few more pieces, but aside from that, seems to be burning pretty well. Here we are, we've survived. And the shelter over here, you got, well, my dad's sleeping bag's over there, the blue one, because he's letting it dry out a little bit. Got some a little bit of condensation in it. But this whole basic turtle shell operation, as my dad describes, actually worked out pretty good. I got the woobie stuffed inside the SOL Bivvy sack with the Mylar reflecting heat, and completely zipped up. And when I say completely zipped up, like completely enclosed, I stayed warm with the exception of my feet getting a little cold. The issue with that was you can't breathe, right? Because it's such small space. You can breathe, but your breathing is labored and there's just not enough oxygen. So you got a choice, like, I'm going to stick my head out and freeze, or I'm going to stay inside here and die, or freeze. So I kind of chose the freeze part a little bit. Moving forward, Number 1, better socks. Number 2, better gloves. Number 3, a balaclava. And aside from that, everything else was good. The base layers that I got really worked out well, and that was probably my biggest concern, was without those base layers, I probably would have had some issues. But overall, with this setup, if you did indeed have to just throw this down the ground and crash with that, as long as you got the base thermals covered and some good gloves, a good balaclava, and a better pair of wool socks than what I have right now, it's pretty much good to go. Temps down at 28. I think I mentioned that. Now, we do have to have a little chat about this fire. And things went horribly wrong. They were looking really good until it looked like we were going to burn down the entire forest last night. Because I've done the Siberian log fire with 1 log before, and it's worked great. It'll burn until around like midnight, and then, you know, in Florida you really don't care because it's not freezing. With this, it was about maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. You guys saw that we had a lot of logs on there, and the fire got enormous, and we had to put it out. And that was a black pill, a giant black pill. It was just too big, and you know, it was, you know, it obviously got a little cold. And then around 4, I woke up, got the fire started, and this is what we end up now with these logs still burning, and it's fine. The issue is the fire ring itself was too small. So all the logs that were burning at that angle that you guys saw needed to be completely enclosed inside the fire ring, because the fire kept escaping. And really what happened was when these logs were on here first and they were at this angle like this, cool, but with half of the log or a large part of the log being outside the fire ring, it just started to burn down the entire log and then spitting everything else everywhere else. And that's where the concern came in with the fire. So I think next time, building a larger fire ring and keeping everything enclosed inside there, it's probably gonna be the best bet. Okay guys, so that is about it. I will see you in the comments. I think overall, things turned out pretty well, considering the fact I didn't have fire for the entire night. I did have a good learning experience with the bigger Siberian log fire. I know how to do that right. And I also have some Death Wish coffee to, that like kept me motivated throughout the night of waking up and thinking, man, I'm gonna have some good coffee in the morning. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you think of my improvised sleep system and the tips dipping down. And I guess it hit 28. We actually thought it was gonna be 21, which I'd probably be shaking right now and freezing if that was the case. But yeah, that's what it is. Oh yeah, and the knife, I got to put that to some more use. I'm still trying to figure out the best pronunciation for that blade. I think it's Steigen, something like that. But overall, that turned out really good. And actually, for splitting wood, the taper seemed to be more effective in terms of how I placed the blade on the wood. And the hollow grind was more effective for actually making a feather sip, which I didn't see coming. But, you know, all of this stuff is a learning experience. Every time I go out, I learn more and I gain more insight, and especially from you guys as well. So I appreciate the comments. And I'm going to pack up my turtle shell operation and head back to an actual house that has central heat. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot for the support. Hey, you still there? Cool. Then don't forget to check out our website located on the interwebs at thesurvivaloutpost.com. We are designed and optimized for hard use, for the self-reliant who talk less and hustle more. Thanks to our international connections, you get first access to unique and innovative products from around the world. This is the gear that will give you that edge you need in a survival situation, or if you're just trying to keep the lights on when the power goes out. Any content mentioned in this video is linked up down there in the pinned post, and be sure to watch the suggested videos for more real-world survival training and knowledge.